Hey, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a coffee talk update on how things are going with the part-time teaching, part-time authoring life. Some wins, some losses, some big updates. So yeah, this is kind of how it's been going. So to give you some context for anybody who is new, I was a full-time teacher for 11 years, and then this year I wanted to step back from some of that, but I wasn't quite ready to let it all go because there are some things I love about teaching. And so I'm teaching 2 classes a day, and then basically the rest of the time I'm self-employed as an author entrepreneur. So that has been awesome, and some ups and downs. So I just wanted to kind of be honest with how things are going. One announcement is that I am finally on TikTok now, Carly Stevens Books. That's also my Instagram handle. And that's been going pretty well. It's not like all of a sudden anything is meteoric, but I feel like that's very rarely the case that anything is meteoric in this business or any other. Obviously there are outliers. Some people just get super lucky, but I've never been one of those to get super lucky, certainly with the marketing aspect of my books. I'm super proud of all that I've accomplished. I'm super proud of all of my books. I love them, and I feel like it's just such an amazing thing that I was able to complete that many, especially as a full-time teacher. But none of my marketing efforts have paid off the way that I've wanted them to. I've tried paid ads, I've tried newsletters, I've tried sales, I've tried a variety of things. I was pretty tenacious on a couple of social media sites, Instagram being the main one, for years, and saw no traction at all. I met some cool people and made some connections, so I don't feel like it was a total waste, but in terms of like making money, it was not the most helpful. But TikTok is the first time that I've actually seen significant measurable results of interest on Goodreads, on actual sales of books, ebook and physical copies. And so I'm really hopeful with that. So if you like my stuff, or you just like book aesthetics and that kind of thing, then you can check it out. So that is going well, and I've been learning a lot about myself. I am a pretty self-motivated person. Obviously, you kind of have to be if you're going to organize all the things that need to be in place for a series of books to come out while you have a full-time job. But it's harder for me to be organized when I have more time. I've heard that other people are like this too. I assume that that's probably some of you out there. If I know that I have 2 hours and that's it, then I can use those 2 hours really effectively. If I have 8 hours, on the other hand, I might get the same amount done as I got in 2 hours, because I know that I don't have to rush to accomplish the same amount. So that's been an adjustment. I'm still figuring out how to up my productivity from what it was. I mean, I have been able to do more, but I thought that the margin would be greater. Like if I could get this much done in 2 hours, then I should be able to get, 3 times more or whatever in 6. And that has not really been the case. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's been a challenging sort of thing. But I'm still trucking along with a couple of projects, most notably my work in progress, my next book coming out. I'm about 20% through, and I'm planning over the next month to power through basically the rest of it and get a good first draft going. So yeah, I might do NaNoWriMo for the first time this year. In the past, I could never do NaNoWriMo just because it was such a busy time of year for me at school. October and November were just absolutely brutal. So instead, I would write about the same amount every June. So as soon as school got out, I would just marathon and, get half of Kingdoms on Fire done. And that's a 600-page book. So Um, yeah, some of the other wins that I've had, I saw for the first time ever one of my books on a featured table at Barnes & Noble without my knowing it was going to be there. That was just absolutely tremendous. I mean, what a moment that is. I've also put out the Hamlet Reader, which is a copy of Hamlet with no notes. It's so you can annotate it yourself, along with a bunch of the research that I did for Laertes, my dark academia Hamlet retelling set in the 20s. So if you would like source materials or related readings and things like that, then that's out there. So that came out soon after I started this part-time gig. And Kingdoms on Fire, the audiobook, is just about done. It's being edited right now, and so it's not out quite yet, but I've heard it, and guys, it's so good. So definitely have some things coming out, even though I'm not producing as much as I was kind of expecting to. Let's see. Yeah, wins, losses. I've discovered a couple of random small things that I guess I'll just pass along to you since you're watching this and might be in a similar situation. You cannot sell public domain materials wide. You can sell them on Amazon with certain restrictions. You do have to change things enough or add notes or, put things together differently, but you can't sell them to a greater audience necessarily. So that's why the Hamlet Reader is just available on Amazon. That was something that I did not know. Laertes, the Hamlet retelling, is down to 99 cents through just today. That's Halloween 2022. And I think I jumped the gun on reducing that price. My thought was, all right, now I'm getting some traction with TikTok and I want to get this book out to as many people as possible. But I'm not sure that was even much of a selling point to bring it down from, it wasn't all that expensive to begin with, the ebook, down to 99 cents. And I feel like I could have made so much more and nobody would have been bothered if I just kept it at the normal price. So I'll have to be a little bit more thoughtful when it comes to that. Something else that has kind of reared its head as I've been working part-time as an author, part-time as a teacher, is that comparison. And it's not all the time. Sometimes I'm just really happy with how things are going. Last weekend I had 2 book signings and they both went super well. I sold out of Fury and Rising. I almost sold out of the rest of the Tanyuan Academy series. I sold out of all the Laertes except for one. That was the last book left, and I just, there was an hour or so left to go in the signing, and I just thought, well, I've sold almost everything, so I packed up early. So at moments like that, I don't feel behind at all. I feel like things are going well. You can even see in the, my Ingram Spark print-on-demand graphs that starting with the launch of Laertes in July, that my book sales have just gone through the roof by my standards. It was going from nothing to something, basically. And so that's nice, but that comparison is definitely a thing. How much are you writing compared to somebody else? How much are you making compared to somebody else? And I think being on social media so much with TikTok and Instagram and finding some traction there is not really helping in that regard, because I'm seeing all these people who are on those same platforms or they've written the same as me and they're doing significantly better. So I have to talk myself down sometimes from all of that, which is, no fun. I know everybody has moments when they compare themselves to other people, and it's not the best, but I have, I'm growing through this whole process, and I feel like that's all that you can really ask for in a person. Like, I've decided that if a marketing strategy does not have measurable results within a very finite amount of time, like a month, I'm not seeing anything measurable, then that is just not going to work for me. I'm not going to stick with it because for some misplaced sense of loyalty, because I do that sometimes. I'll stick with something and I'm like, I'm going to be consistent, dang it. And I'm consistent, but like, to what end? Sometimes I just am consistent for the sake of consistency and not for the sake of what I wanted to get out of something, whether that be connections with people or actual book sales or whatever it may be. So I have saved for the end of this video my biggest announcement. But before I get to it, I would love any questions that you guys have about this. I'm an open book as far as what it's like to be an author, what it takes to do this whole thing behind the scenes. You know, I have no scruples with just sharing with you how things are going. How I am very proud to be where I am, but I also am not really making money, and I want to make sure that that item on my list of criteria for success does, you know, I do get to it eventually. I've said on this channel before that for me, success is enjoying my life, which for the most part is happening. I mean, just having the breathing room away from school has been so positive for me. Secondly, it's making super fans, and I want more people to find these books that would love them. And slowly, I'm, you know, here and there, I'll find somebody and then somebody else. But I'm really hoping to build that audience through TikTok and some of these other new things that I'm trying. And then third on the list is making money, you know, making some good money. And being an author is tough that way. There is a tipping point at a certain point, but even when you reach it, a lot of the payouts don't come for like 3 months. It's so annoying. So if I had a spectacular month this month, and it was, you know, again, good by my standards, but not really all that great, I'm not going to see that until, you know, December or January. But yeah, if you have any questions, please do let me know. And that connects directly to my big announcement. So I appreciate those of you who've been watching English Nerd for years. I've enjoyed connecting with people through this channel and helping people out. But I feel like it has been serving two audiences, at least for too long. And now that I have the space, now that I have the time, I am actually starting a new channel. So I will still post here every Monday, but I'm going to go back down to one video a week. It's going to be solely academic. It's going to be English class. It's going to be high school English tips. It's going to be literature. It's going to be essay writing. It's going to be literary terms. It's going to be all that stuff that I teach in class, basically, and that I've learned. So this is going to be my academic channel. It already mostly is. The majority of my videos are academic because that's where the interest has been, mostly. But I have another audience here, which are the writers. So I am starting a new channel that is all about writing, publishing, and indie author life. And it is called Carly Stevens Books, just like my TikTok, just like my Instagram. So Carly Stevens Books is live. There are a couple of videos that went live today, but I will be posting usually on Wednesdays. Wednesday will be the Carly Stevens Books posting day for, again, writing, publishing, and indie author life stuff. So if you are here for that, you know, the author side of things, that's probably where I'll also do my book hauls and some of the more fun, I mean, that would fall more under the indie author life side of things. Then hop on over there, subscribe, get the notifications, because I'm really excited to start this new channel where people can really pick and choose. Do they want the academic stuff, you know, like the huge all about the Inferno series that I've been in the middle of? Some people are, you know, really getting a lot out of that. But if that's not you and you're just waiting for the authorly videos, then that is what this new channel is going to be all about. So you can stick with both. You can jump ship. I won't be offended over to that other side. But that is what's going on. So yes, I'm unveiling Carly Stevens Books, the new channel all about just writing, publishing, and indie author life. So fiction writers out there, I've got you. Yeah, so that is my big update, little coffee talk. I'm calling them coffee talks, but I have tea. Any former students out there will go, of course you have tea. You have tea 100% of the time as you walk around. Yeah, but that is it. So I will start seeing you just on Mondays, starting as soon as the Inferno series is over. So I'll have actually no, not as soon as the Inferno series is over. There are only like 1 or 2 videos left in that. No, starting today, there will only be 1 video on Mondays here at English Nerd, and then Wednesdays will be the Carly Stevens Books. All right, thanks. I'll see you next time.